My Spider-Man Brand New Day review. Okay, first off, I want to say this when it comes to this movie. This is the most comic book accurate movie of Spider-Man I've ever seen. I definitely think when I think of a week of Peter Parker's life in the Marvel Universe, this is what the week looked like. Spider-Man Brand New Day. I also want to say this when it comes to the Brand New Day movie. I feel like every side character held their own. Punisher held his own. Elena held her own. Hulk, Bruce Banner held his own. I feel like everything was held down by the side characters. I always say this: number one thing you want to get right in a movie is the villain and the side characters. As long as the villains and the side characters are solid, that's perfect. The only weakest part of the movie to me was the ending dialogue with Jean Grey. That's the weakest part of the movie. I feel like everything fell into her character perfectly. It's just it didn't land perfectly for me when it came to her dialogue. You know, she was the weakest part of the movie. Outside of that, it was a very, very solid movie. It's just everything else leading up to that was like comic book accurate. I really fell in love with the fact that this is Peter Parker's world. He's not heavily involved in teams. He's not heavily involved in the Fantastic Four. He's not heavily involved in the Avengers. He's not heavily involved in the X-Men, but he does run into these characters on a weekly basis when it comes to just living and existing in the Marvel Universe. So I really respected the fact that they incorporated that in his story. He's going to be running into the Hulk. He's going to be running into Wolverine. He might run into Storm once in a while. He might run into Captain America. He might run into Fantastic Four, or Johnny Storm. And I really love the fact that he's running into these characters in the MCU, but they're not taking over his story because this is a Spider-Man story. And yeah, that's all I had to say. If I want to rank this movie, I'm going to rank it a solid 8 out of 10. I would rewatch this movie and enjoy it all again if I had the ability to. I'm probably going to rewatch it again once it comes out on DVD and buy the DVD and rewatch it. And that's all I wanted to say.